My name is Michelle Tutrissa, and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up here in New South Wales, Australia. Thank you very much for joining me today. Please jump on, say hello, let me know you're here. And it's always great to have a bit of a chat with you while we craft. So I'm going to flip this down now so you can see my desk view. Won't be a second. There we go. So today the products we're going to be playing with is the product of the month, and it is the True Blue Florals. Now this is it here. I've already chopped into a lot of this, so let me just very quickly see if I can pull some of this out so you can have a look. But we have this floral here and the reverse on that side. We have got this floral and you've got the reverse there. This one here, which I'm loving at the moment. A lot of fussy cutting there. And that's a reverse of that one. Let me see, which else have we got here? I've got that one. And that one here. Some of these are very traditional type designs, like this one here. But then this one here is traditional, but could also be a little bit modern too. And I've seen people also colour in these flowers in colours as well. So there's a lot you could do with some of these papers. Let me have a look. What else have we got here? No, I've got one more at least, which is this one. I've only got a couple of small pieces left, and that's the reverse side of that one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there must be a sixth one here somewhere. It might be this one here, and then we've got that on the reverse of that one. So quite a nice paper. Now, if you want this paper, what you do have to spend here in Australia is $125 in one order, and then you have the option of purchasing this for $9. And it's only while stocks last. You can only get one pack of it. And it is worthwhile doing that. I'm a blue lover, so for me this was a must-have, and I'm loving it. So, and as I said, this is a product of the month for December, so it's only available in December at the moment. I think there is a way of getting it after December, but you can only get one pack per person. But if they have stocks left over and you didn't get it, you could probably I think in January you can actually, if you didn't want the product of the month for January, you can get that back one. But that's something that we haven't actually tried yet, so not quite sure how that's going to work. Hello, Joan. Thanks for jumping on today. Okay, so the other product we're playing with is I'm going to be using some of the Whispers of Texture, and this is it's a white cardstock, slightly thicker than the normal, and it has a little bit of texture on it. I'm not quite sure whether you can see that. This one here has got like a linen type effect to it, and then there's another one which I've used in the past which has got this corrugated type of effect to it as well. So we're going to be using that beautiful paper there as well. So let me just pop that to one side. We're going to be using some basic white, some navy, some balmy blue, and the stamps that I'm going to be using. I'm doing a little bit of stamping for a sentiment using the Benna Sayings. That's an online exclusive that was available at the beginning of this month. And the other one I'll be using is the leaves from the dies, and this is the dies of the Petals of Beauty dies. So I'm using this one here and this one here, and I'm also using vellum. So we'll be cutting out some of these, or I've already cut them out ready to go, but I've cut out some of these in the Night of Navy and some of these in the vellum. Okay, let's get this card going. So I've got a bit of scratch paper here, because one of the first things I want to do is I'm going to grab my paper here that has the textures on it, and I want to do a little bit of sponging or blending with the Balmy Blue. Hello, Leslie. How are you? Thank you for joining us today. So I've got a blending brush here, and I'm just going to load my brush up with some ink. Just tap a bit of that off, and I'm going to, I want to put colour starting from this side going across, okay? But I'm not going to cover the whole area. I just want to put a bit of colour into this white cardstock. As I said, just starting, take a little bit of colour off, and I want it going from this side out, blending out to nothing on that side. Now you can start seeing my colour is starting to build up, and I'm just putting a little bit on at a time because then that gives me control. If I load my brush up with too much ink and then go on, then I may end up with a lot of colour where I don't want it, and you're better off going and adding a bit at a time and just building your colour up, which is what I'm doing here. So again, I'm just working across and around. I'm not going all the way out nor down. I just want a bit of colour there. And I think that might be getting to where I want it. Might just put a little bit more on. There we go. So that should be enough. And while I've got actually the stamps out, what I'm going to do is also stamp my sentiment. Sentiment I'm using is just happy birthday, and I'm going to stamp that on to a scrap of basic white, and I'm going to do that in Night of Navy. So this card is going to be very, very much a blue card. Now, when you purchase this stamp set here, it does come in a bundle with a punch, which we'll be using to punch this, our sentiment out. Hello, Linny. How are you? How was your trip to visit your mum? Hope it all went well. So this bit me last time, so let's see if I can punch this out without it biting me. And it's got 3 different tags on it. I'm trying to get that out of the glare of the light. And I want this one here. So I could have cut a thinner strip, but I've just got a scrap here. Now, I want to have my flag. That's going to have my flag at the right end, which is good. I was a little bit worried there, thought I might have my flag the wrong place. Just want to center that up a little bit. I want the sentiment more towards the flag side than to the other one. And that gives me my happy birthday. So we'll need that one as well. That's good. Okay. So I've already pre-cut everything and die cut everything. And as I said, I die cut these, and I've got 3 of this. And I've also, in the vellum, cut 3 of those leaves. I'm not quite sure whether we'll be using the whole 3, but might as well do that. And it's always better having more than what you need than not having enough. The other thing that I did was I've taken this particular piece of paper. Now let me see if I can find it. That's it there. And I've been doing a lot of fussy cutting. So it's not too bad to fussy cut that, but it's a little bit fiddly, but something I don't mind doing. So I've done some fussy cutting, and what I have cut is this piece here. Excuse me, I've still got my bad cough. Now, it has, this was a piece from the edge of my cardstock. So let me see if I can find it, where it would be on here. Let's have a look. It's not that one. It was an edge piece. You would think to be the same on both. I can't find, oh, there it is, there. It's that piece there. So what I've done is I've cut, I left those flowers there, or those leaves there, and I've cut this whole section, 1, 2, 3 flowers, and then this one here and going down into that one there. So it's got an edge there, but that's going to work well with my card design. So don't forget, you don't have to just disregard that piece with a flat edge. You can make it part of your design. I could have also, if I wanted to, cut some of these up and made them quite a bit smaller, because they don't come to the edge, but I decided to leave it as one piece. So we've got that as well. I've got a little piece of the designer series paper also in this particular design. But what I am going to do is, because I did cut it the other way and then decided to use this side, I'm just going to run my bone folder just over the edges, because I cut it from this side down, the blade has given a curve and given you an edge on this side. So by just running your bone folder around those cut edges, it just flattens out that little bit of a curve there, because I do want this to be my right side. There we go. That's a lot better. And then I have got some cardstock here. I've got my base in Night of Navy. I've got 2 mats in my Balmy Blue. I've got my strip for my mat there in the Night of Navy, and I've got a piece for my insert. And actually, while I've got thinking about it, with my insert, I might just do a little bit of colouring on that as well. So let me just move some of this out of the road, bring this back in, and let's bring that Balmy Blue back again. Did everyone get rain this morning? We had a lot of rain here. Looks like it's sun's trying to peek out now, but it was very wet here this morning. Okay, let's just start off there, and I just want to add a little bit of colour just onto this corner here. Just like that, because I have done some other fussy cut some more of those pieces. I'm doing a scrapbook layout, which you'll see later in the week. And so I have also been cutting out lots of these. So I think that might go on there. And do I have... I just think I might need another leaf. And I might just very quickly... don't think I've got... let me just have a quick look in my little tray of bits over here to see. As you can see, I have been fussy cutting a lot, and just see if there's a leaf or something here, another one that I can use. That one there has been cut a little bit too much. Can use another one of those. That will do me, that one there. So let's just pop all these back into here. Okay, so that's what's going to go on there. And actually, while we've got that there, I might just pop a little bit more blue. You haven't had any rain yet. Okay, so yours might be coming this afternoon. We might get more this afternoon too. I did hear there was a bit of a storm warning this morning, so let's just bring that out a little bit further. Of course, we can always cut this down a bit as well. So what I might do is, since we've got this, glue all this down. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue just into that corner or into the middle. I'm going to pop that right down. I'm going to take it down quite a bit, and we're going to trim this down, I think, and then pop some glue on here, a little bit on there as well. That can go onto there. Do the same with this one. Now we'll put all the measurements and everything that I'm using into my blog post, but I'm not quite sure when I'm going to get that done. I have visitors coming later on today, which will be lovely. And they're staying the weekend, so it's just my son and his partner, but I just want to be available for them. And they're going to help me decorate the Christmas tree because we still haven't got our Christmas tree up. We're a bit slow this year. You might get a tiny bit about 4. Yeah, it's sort of, the sun's trying to peek through. I saw on Facebook this morning that Bundanon was very foggy. Okay. So there's our card insert, and while we're working on our card inserts, I feel like I'm working back to front. I usually do this as my last. I'm going to pop that onto its mat. Let me just grab that out of the road. And that can then go on there like so. So who else has purchased or is planning to purchase this particular paper? Let's grab our card base. Let's fold that in half, and I'm going to give that a good burnish there. And since we're working on this insert, we might as well pop that all in. And of course, product of the month is taking over. We're no longer doing celebration, so this is what's going to be happening. So this is going to be going throughout the year. So it's not just once, celebration was great in its time, and you had it you know, all these wonderful sale product items that you could purchase in January, but this one will be all throughout the year, something new every month, and I think that's quite exciting. Okay then, so that's our insert done. Ready? So let's work on our card base. So let's bring in our piece that we've already done some colouring on and our other mat, and we're going to adhere these two together. Now, if you are looking for ideas of what you can do with this product, the True Blue Designer Series paper, will be taking part in a blog hop later on in this month, and be quite a few ideas on there, I'm sure. So I've just popped that white cardstock onto my mat, and again I'm going to adhere this to my card front. Making sure that's all nice and lined up, and I'm just going to open that and give that a really good rub inside just to make sure that glue is spread quite well. Okay, so that's that part of our card. So then I've got my strip that's going to go across the front, and then we're going to adhere this piece on here. So let's just do that now. So how's everybody going with their Christmas shopping? And this piece is the same in length, and it's just a little bit wider with the Night of Navy just popping out the edges. I'll put my lid on that before it dries out. Now that's going to go across there like so, but I'm not going to glue that down just yet. So this piece here, I want to have this large flower with that edge glued onto there. So what I think I'm going to do, because it's going to determine where this strip here goes, I'm going to adhere, just putting glue onto this piece here for the time being. And that's going to go flush with the end of that. Now I will put more glue underneath these in a little while. I just want to work out where everything is going to go. I just add a little bit more, just with the ink that's in my brush, just a little bit more there. That is going to go up a little bit. So that piece there takes the full length of that. Now we want to grab these pieces, and I'm going to tuck some of these. Now these might get cut down because they are quite long. What I want to do is pop that underneath there, and let's just have a look. So I think, and then I was going to actually, that's why I cut 3 of these. I was going to put some in there too. But anyway, we can always come back to that. This one here is going to go to about there. So I'm going to break that off there, because I want that one coming to about there. But I also want to break this one take the bit off the end of that. Now you can use scissors to do that, but so I want that there and that like that, and that's going to sit over the top. Okay, so now normally I would poke these underneath, but I'm just going to glue these down now. Just making sure I've got that in the position I want it. I'm just putting glue on the ends. That's going to go just in there. That is going to sit on top. So again, I'm going to take these and actually might sit that on top. I was thinking of going underneath, but let's have a look, see, do I need to cut some of that off? Bring it in a bit more. Let's have a look. Might still pop that in from underneath there. Okay. Then this one here, I want to this is quite delicate because I've got a little joint, like only got like a couple of hairs width there holding that together. So I've got a little bit carried away with my fussy cutting. I'm just wondering whether that might come out better. It's just a matter of just playing around and working out where you want these to sit. Yep, I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to pop, actually I might just put some glue dots underneath this. They are going to be hidden, and well, we decided last year we're going to do a Secret Santa. And so everybody took names in my family, Lynn, of who was going to buy Christmas presents for everybody, or for which person. Not everybody's turning up for Christmas now at my place. So our Secret Santa's sort of like fallen, I don't know. I don't know who's getting presents and who's not this year. I'm definitely not going to race out and buy presents for everybody, but I think it's just going to be for us this year. The present is having people here visiting because Patrick's coming home for Christmas, but and Georgia and Robert are going to be in the area because Georgia's parents also live here in the Highlands. And Hayden and his partner are staying in Canberra, and Aaron is working. So it's going to be a very quiet Christmas. And as I said, not many gifts going around. Now I'm just going to pop another one underneath here. These are all going to get covered up, so I'm not sort of too worried about those glue dots showing. Now on this one, I'm going to pop some dimensionals onto the back of this. So that's going to help support. I want some large ones as well. So theoretically this year I only had to buy 2 Christmas presents, one for Joe, of course, and one for my secret person. So I'm going to pop another one there. Pop one there. Oh, and I'll go and buy something for my parents too. But they're easy to buy for. My father likes a particular chutney made at a local shop here, so I'll be heading off to Berrima maybe this weekend and going to do that. And that's my Christmas shopping done. We haven't even put up our Christmas tree this year. We have been so busy, and I have been so unwell with this cough that I've got. I've had it for months now. Now, I've not put any dimensionals in this area here because that's where the build-up of all of that is, and I really don't want it to become too thick there. But I've popped dimensionals everywhere else. Now I'm just keep missing that little one. So hopefully it will help hold all of this down. So let's flip this around. So that's going to go just about there. And I'm just laying it down and just letting it fall. I'm just going to press all that down there. Now, I haven't got any glue underneath that, but that's okay. I think that's going to sit nicely. And, of course, this is going to go in there as well. It may even sit on top, partially on top. We'll see how we go. Don't really want it over this side. I don't want it to cover that flower, but just that might go underneath there like that. Okay. And I'm going to pop a little bit of just glue on this. I'm not putting dimensionals on that part, and I'm just going to slip that underneath there. Now I do want probably a little bit of glue just underneath that leaf. So let me see if I've got a strip of, this will do. Do my little paintbrush with some glue on it. With a strip of cardstock. Just pop that underneath and that will just glue, and I will just actually pop a little bit of this down in here. Maybe just a bit on that one. So that's going to sit just like that. Now, I wonder if I've got any bling here that we could use. Of course, we could use that. That one, if we wanted to, that's Night of Navy. So that one, if we wanted to have white, if we want to introduce a bit more Night of Navy, and it's got a little bit of glitter on there, I think actually I like that one. So this is the Charming Shimmer Faceted Dots. And I just want some of these small ones. I don't think we'll need any of the big ones. And let's have a look. Where are we going to place these? I think I'm going to pop one into there. We want to create a triangle of some sort. And I think I might pop another one, maybe about there. And I'm going to pop one down there. So that's forming a triangle, which is making our eyes come to that happy birthday. Okay. So I did have an idea of putting some of this in here, but I think I may have glued all this down too much. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. I think that's enough for in there. So there we go. There's our card done. So a little bit of work with fussy cutting. If you like to fussy cut, just use a pair of scissors. You can use a pair of curved nail scissors if you've got some that have got a sharp point on them. Because they've got a curve in it, sometimes it helps for cutting around nice curves. But that's the True Blue, and that's my card using the True Blue Designer Series paper, which is the product of the month. And by just adding a few more other products with it, you can create some beautiful cards. So, and there's the inside there as well. So there we are. So I hope you've enjoyed that today. I'm glad you've been able to jump on and join me and have a chat with me. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Joan. I hope you have a lovely weekend too, Leslie. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I will see you next Friday. And as I said, I do have a blog hop happening probably towards the end of the week, where will be a whole lot of us actually showing what we've created with this particular designer series paper, or the product of the month. So please keep a lookout for that. I'll catch up with you, as I said, next Friday. Take care. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. And yes, it looks like the blue clouds are starting to poke out now. So take care. Thank you very much for joining me today. Bye for now.